Okay, so we jump back on the CFL train. Eddie Steele joins us from Edmonton, and quite frankly, don't tell anybody, he's like the only media guy. Can I call you that, Eddie? The only media guy in Edmonton whose opinion I'm really following and care for. The 0-5 Elks, dude. Just go. Go, Eddie, go. What do you have to say to that?
Where to go? There's nowhere to go, man. There's no one even going to the games. There's nowhere to go. Nothing to see. No show to see. There was high expectations. There was. I really had some high expectations for this team. I mean, coming off of the season that they had, anything was high expectation. But to have this start and to lose the games the way they're losing and to sometimes not even be in the games and the blunders and just kind of the same old same and the lack of O-line play and lack of quarterback, lack of coaching. It's just all around. Where do you even start? It's disappointing. I'll be honest. I'm really disappointed. I'm disappointed for the fans out here. It sucks. It sucks. 0-5. I've never been a part of anything like that. Not that I'm a part of it now, but, as an alum, it pains me to see, man. It really does. But I'm still going to stay faithful. I'll go to the games, but it's tough slugging right here, right now.
Well, I don't doubt it. And the thing that people need to know, you and I got to know each other with your great time with the Rough Riders, but you're an Eskimo to the bone. And whoever they were playing, I think it was the Argos, you drove up to the stadium and you tweeted, "Today's the day. The streak ends today." So, you just want it to end so bad, right? So every time they lose, it must just hurt that much more. They've lost 3 times since, they lost that game, then they lost in Ottawa, and then they lost at Sask.
Yeah, it's been bad, and they've been competitive in some of the games. Of course, we know the Saskatchewan, the 2 times they've played, they've been competitive games. That Argo game, man, they were leading at halftime. I really thought, oh, this is going to be a good opportunity. But then they have that one quarter, or they have those couple big mistakes. Every team has that throughout the course of a game, but the good teams can overcome that. And that's just flat out it. And they're not a good team, so they're not able to overcome that. You have a couple of small mistakes and it totally ends your game. That's a sign of a team that just is not made for it yet. Sure, they have some pieces, but they're just not there. And obviously their record just speaks for itself. I mean, it's 0-5. What more can you say? In all honesty, it's disgusting.
Well, yeah, I know it's tough, and you're not on Elks radio anymore for speaking the truth and speaking your truth, but I think it's difficult. You said you'd never been part of 0-5. I'm pretty sure Edmonton's never been 0-5. And when I was up there, start of the season, they were very excited about their young talent. And I think they do have talent. So if that's the case, and you got a veteran coaching staff, whose fault is this, other than everybody? But what would you do if you were running the show?
In all honesty, I've been very vocal about McAdoo, and I really watched the game closely from the offensive perspective last week. And yeah, do I agree that they need to run it on every single first down of the game? No, that's just come on. You can run it, but not every single first down. But McAdoo called a pretty good game. He called a pretty creative game, or more creative than it had been all season. And I was just watching Cornelius, and really it comes down, he needs to execute better. He's got all the tools, right? We know his size, his arm strength, he's mobile, but he's so inaccurate, man. And you got to just be more accurate. There's points that he left on the board just off some bad, inaccurate throws. And I'm not a quarterback. I got paid to hit quarterbacks, but I know quarterbacks should make a 8-yard slant across the middle and not put it behind his receiver, because his receiver would still be running today. Touchdown. So he's been so wildly inaccurate every game, but then he has good flashes. Quarterback position shouldn't be where you hold your breath and just hope that he completes passes. You got to be a little bit more than that. So, yeah, it's on McAdoo, but they need to execute better too. The offensive line looked like the Riders' offensive line last year, just turnstiles. The guys were pylons getting beat left and right. They had a better game last week. They did. Where to begin? If I was the head honcho out here, I would first of all definitely get my offense in order. Now, I don't know if that's, having Jarius and McAdoo do something together, Jarius Jackson, I should say. I don't think you just go and outright fire the guy, but honestly, it's the offense, and that's where it begins with this club. It's the offense. They're last in every stat, and this is an offensive-driven league, and you need to be able to have an offense that can march it beyond half field and have an offense that can get you more than 8 to 11 points, whatever they're averaging thus far this season.
Well, let me ask you this. Did they err in not going after a veteran quarterback? They could have thrown their hat into the ring for Bo Levi or Cody Fajardo or Trevor Harris. For instance, look how Trevor Harris is playing for Sask. He's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's winning games. He's leading them on drives to tie and win games. Like, maybe they should have looked at that.
You're right. Trevor Harris looks good, but that means he's coming back to, he's being recycled here. He was just here in Edmonton. Bo Levi, how's that looking? That ain't looking so hot. Cody Fajardo, how's that looking? It ain't looking like he's really changed or he's done so. He had a really good game to start the year, but he's kind of, what's he done that's been so special? He's still getting sacked left and right. So that leads me to think, was it the Riders O-line who's at fault last year for Cody? Because he's still getting up there in the league leading sacks. So how hot are those guys, really? So what else is there? And that just goes to show you one of the bigger issues right now in football is lack of good quarterbacks. Like, it's actually astonishing how hard it is to find good quality quarterback play. And, you search high and low, and with the other leagues that are out there now, of course, that waters down the talent pool that wants to come up north, but that's what it comes down to. I hate to say it, being a guy who got paid to hit them for a living. You win and lose in pro football with a quarterback, and you need to have solid quarterback play. You don't need to have great. You need to have solid. When I'm out here watching the Elks offense, I'm holding my breath just for completion, and it shouldn't be like that for a 20-yard pass. I go back to my days of Mike Riley. Boy, oh boy, you want to talk quarterback play, but we're not living in the past. This is the here and now.
Yeah, well, interesting one this week with the tie catch there. Eddie, you always bring the lumber. As you know, I appreciate the time here today and enjoy the ball. Have a good summer, my friend.
Thanks, Rod. Take care. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Great Cup champion Eddie Steele joining us from the City of Champions, if we can still call it that.